How to disappear and become your best self. Carl Jung? There comes a moment in a person's life when the world feels too loud, too demanding, too crowded with expectations that were never yours to begin with. You look at your reflection and sense a quiet truth. You've been performing for so long that you no longer recognize the one behind the performance. And strangely, the thought that crosses your mind is simple and heavy at the same time. I want to disappear. Not to escape life, not to run away, but to step out of the version of yourself that never truly belonged to you. Carl Jung believed that the self most people live with is not their real self, but their persona, the mask shaped by family, culture, praise, punishment, and the long history of trying to be acceptable. We smile when we don't feel like smiling. We agree two things that drain us. We become the helpful one, the strong one, the calm one, because life taught us that these identities were easier, safer, quieter. And after years of carrying the mask, we forget that we ever had a face beneath it. Jung's idea of disappearing is not an act of running from the world. It is an act of retreating from who you never truly were. It is the inner pause that allows the soul to speak again after being silenced for so long. And you can feel this moment approaching long before it arrives. It whispers through exhaustion you can't explain, irritability that doesn't match the situation, a constant tiredness around certain people, a subtle loneliness. Even in a room full of friends, there's a quiet ache inside, a sense that something essential is missing, not from your environment, but from yourself. Jung would say that this ache is not a sign of failure. It is an invitation. A message from the unconscious, calling you back. When you finally step into the silence and withdraw from your usual roles, you begin to meet someone who has been living in your shadow all along. Jung called this part of you the shadow, not a dark or evil self, but the pieces of your authenticity that were banished along the way. Your anger, your boundaries, your needs, your creativity, your vulnerability, your ambition, your grief, your intuition, your voice. Everything you hid so others would love you. To disappear from the mask is to meet this forgotten companion. And meeting the shadow is uncomfortable at first, because it reveals the truth about how much you've abandoned yourself. But it is also liberating, because it shows how much of you is still waiting to be There is always a moment during transformation when your life seems to bend, fracture, or fall away. Relationships shift. People accuse you of changing. Old roles stop fitting. And while part of you fears you're losing control, Jung would say you're actually finding it. Every rebirth requires a small death to the identity that was built for survival, not for truth. Disappearing, in this sense, is not dramatic. It is quiet. It is steady. It is a gentle refusal to live on autopilot. You begin saying no without guilt. You pull away from noise that once drowned your clarity. You stop explaining yourself to people who never listened anyway. You spend time alone not to hide, but to hear your own thoughts again. You let go of conversations, friendships, and habits that pull you back into who you used to be. Little by little,